Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. What it do, my beautiful people? I hope you guys been staying balanced. I hope you guys been staying safe, positive, vibrating as high as you can. As you always will, I know. But anyways, today I wanted to come and elaborate and address a couple of things today, guys. We got a couple of things to touch today. So yeah, I want to jump straight into it. But before I do, of course, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your I value your attention today. But I also wanted to state that I do not own any copyrights to the music, nor do I own any copyrights to these videos that I am going to be sharing. I am here to spread knowledge and truth. I am not here to gain any thing materialistic, any money, any finance. I'm just here to spread truth. But anyways, yeah, let's jump straight into it. I've been realizing lately there have been so many dust storms lately, guys. It's been crazy. It's been crazy all around the world. Russia, Spain, Africa, Cali, in Arizona. There's something going on literally everywhere, and it's like Saudi Arabia even. These locusts are just, you notice when the animals, this is how you know when you're in the end times, when the animals begin to react or act weird in a sense. Look how these locusts are swarming the town, and if you realize the fish are rotating in a circular motion, the cows are rotating in a circular motion. That's because there's something going on in your atmosphere above us, and this is why this is why the birds are reacting the way that they are, because there's something going on up above, and they have a different eye, they have a different vision than us, animals in general. So they have that ability to receive or have those receptors to pick up whatever it is that is going on, that we can't physically see. But yeah, volcanoes erupting like crazy, flooding the water, the radiation, of course. What else was it? The animals, guys, underneath the ground is cracking. The plates under earth, the plates underground are actually shifting, and actually earth is shaking, earth is rumbling right now. This is why things are exploding or cracking or going off, because that's the times that we are in. If you notice, the dust storms, the earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and like I just mentioned, the plates under earth, because earth is rumbling. This is why things are happening so immense around this planet, this realm, because of the times that we are in. Mother Universe have awakened, and things are returning back to its natural state of being, and in order for that to occur, it would have to be massive destruction. In order for it to be massive, regeneration or regenerating something. So there's going to be water, there's going to be dirty waters for dirty areas, for dirty cities where dirty acts was done. There will be dirty waters cleaning that up. There will be intense winds. That's why these sandstorms are happening the way that they are. These volcanic eruptions, it's burning. This truth is going to be so revealing and so intense that everything has to everything has to restart. Everything has to start over, because these are the times that we are in. And that's where complete destruction, all revealance, all hate, all greatness, all love, all negativity, all shadow, all the shadow beings, everything is going to be revealed to the open. And this is how it is going to take place. This is a 7 to 12 year tribulation. These are the times that are most important. And if you are not going within at these times, if you are not taking care of yourself, eating right, and if you are not ready, because these times are not just going to be, these climate changes and all of this, all of these disasters that are going on around the world. It's not just going to be around you forever. It's going to come to you eventually, right? And then you have to ask yourself, what are you going to do during that time? Are you stocked up on food? Are you stocked up on water? This is why it is very important to, stay aware, stay open, optimistic about any and everything, because you never know what's going to take place. And everything is being reset. These entities on this planet, on this realm, will no longer have the ability to hide and manipulate from behind. These deities, these shadow beings will have to show themselves. They will have to expose the lie that they have implemented on us, on our race, as well as the reality and the entire formation of this existence. This is the time of truth, of awakening. And that's the beauty of it. I value the process. I value every step of the way. Every single thing that is happening has to take place in order for greatness to occur, for greatness to reveal itself. So if you ask me, all of this is exactly the way that it should be. Alright guys, we are here. We are going to start touching on this information, guys. It has been just so intense lately, and I know you guys, if you have been doing your research, you have been staying on board, you are clearly aware. You've been seeing it, man. You've been realizing it, and you have been noticing that these times are very different, and these times are very intense. So the way that things are now, it's going to be literally nothing but truth and realness. And like I said, I know a lot of you guys may or may not have been picking up on these frequencies, these different vibrations that have been intruding, guys. It's been very crazy lately. And I don't know, some of you may be, a little oblivious when it comes to what is taking place at this time. But, then again, there may be the ones out there who do, actually care about what it is that's going on around them and whom it is that they are sharing this planet with. But guys, yeah, I have so much to touch on today, guys, and I do want to start off with the Schumann resonance, the radiation. You guys already know it's been crazy, and I gotta touch on it. And when I look at these Schumann spikes, the Schumann resonance that you can go look up for yourself. It's easy access. I definitely advise you guys to go do your research on this um, when it comes to the Schumann resonance or the magnetosphere, um, the chart. You should definitely go look into that because it shares a lot of information when it comes to the radiation of the sun, the intense UVA, UVB, UVC spikes that the sun, spews out through the coronal holes and the sunspots on the sun itself. But yeah, I definitely advise you guys to go look into that. But yeah, it's been very intense, guys, and I wanted to come and show you how the mass coronal holes that are both on the north and the south hemisphere of the sun. There are some sunspots and coronal holes, some massive coronal holes that are, everywhere, they're very huge, like especially the one towards the northern hemisphere of the sun. But anyways, yeah, there are some sunspots, as you can see, and the corona. If you guys go back, if you want to backtrack a little bit, the corona is literally nothing but the chromosphere, which is in the sun. That's the sunspots, aka the sun holes, or the coronal holes in the sun. And this is what they were pretty much warning us subliminally about: the radiation of the sun. The coronal holes from the sun are being, what's the word? They are spreading or widening very, like, immensely, and it is causing the heat from the sun to become very detrimental to those who are not connected to the sun, or have the ability to sustain the existence even with the sun. So, like I was mentioning, yeah, there is a lot of Schumann resonance that have been spiking out from the sun. This is very intense. There were a couple of times, actually, but as you can see, it is actually it's very, very, very intense. Now let me see, what does it want to show you? I touched on that. Please bear with me, my beautiful people. I have so much to touch on today, but I'm gonna try to, okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna play the. Okay. Give me 1 second, people. Bear with me. All right. So let's speak on this while we're here, because I guess it was okay. So there was a volcanic eruption a while back, a few years back, I believe, and it actually had a light beam that came down from the sky, apparently from a ghostly, object in the sky. I guess it's invisible. They can't see it, but they do know, or they do see, that there are lasers or some form of energy usurping light that is coming from the sky and going into these volcanoes, and furthermore causing them to erupt. So now, as you can see, once again, there on the 28th of last month, there was another meteor or laser. I don't know if you want to consider it a light being, something that was, from a higher source. I definitely don't believe that it was of this planet. I don't believe that these humanoids on this planet have the ability to, correspond or come in contact with a volcano the way that this beam actually does. So yeah, like I was mentioning, it just recently happened again, and in fact it was caught on camera. Okay, I guess. But yeah, it's very far from cliche. Like, it's, I don't know, guys, like this one's different because the fact that it comes in contact with this volcanic eruption, or excuse me, this volcano, and then causes it to erupt, was the part that got me. And as you can see here, when it happened previously, it was at the bottom, and then when it happened, I believe, whenever it did happen, it was a few years back. That's the picture that was captured. But as you can see, let me see if I can pull up the video. Give me 1 second. Wow. Okay, here it is right here. Now hear this video out and look at this laser and tell me, is this anything of this world, or is this more so something that is extraterrestrial, or I guess if you want to refer to it as something more alienistic. This is nothing
things like weather
of this
modification.
world, of this planet.
Those who saw the video said you can very clearly see a green beam of light hit the volcano. Then a matter of seconds later the volcano starts to erupt, saying that it seems too much of a coincidence. One user said the following: "I've seen these types of videos before, and when these beams hit the objects they were aiming for, it normally causes them to erupt or catch on fire. I'm sure that the military are messing around with this tech, as it's not the first time these beams have been recorded." End quote. Well, one skeptic said the following: "Although I can see why people are questioning this video, it doesn't show anything that resembles a laser. In fact, I think the green beam that can be seen in the video is just a camera anomaly, and it's showing up because the video was slowed down. In my opinion, there's nothing of interest here." End quote. Others, though, went down the route and suggested
Okay. Yeah, like I was mentioning, I don't know if you want to perceive this as something, more so third dimensional. This was maybe a third dimensional energetic weapon. Like here, you can see they are saying these are energetic weapons that are being used to cause fires, or that are being used to, cause eruptions. But in my personal opinion, I feel as though these crafts, or these objects that are sitting over these volcanoes, that are shooting down lasers or beaming down lights into these volcanic eruptions, or into these volcanoes, and furthermore causing the eruption, is something that is, far more divine than this this room, this matrix. And like I mentioned, all of these things have to take place and have to, erupt or explode, or cause some type of, rumble, because that's the time that we are in, and this is how things are going to have to crumble or shut down in order for it to then restart. But like I was mentioning, the sun is heating up, and the sun is becoming something new. And actually, in fact, we have our second sun that have arisen once again, which I have mentioned. Our new sun is here, and we actually have two suns. There's a golden sun, and there's a silver bright white light sun. And this is why things are, transitioning to a new age of being, because things are revealing, things are coming out, and this is why the sun is gone. This is why the moon is gone, and it is MIA at this time of existence right now. It pops up here and there, and then when it does, it has a halo around it. So that's how you know when something is not real, especially the moon. When it has that halo around it, that's when you know it's not the moon. And even sometimes when it does come, it's upside down. So it's like it's at this point, it's non-existent. But us as the golden race, us as the melanated beings of this planet, we are the natural organic beings of this planet, and we have been seated here. We have came down here, and we have in fact, came into contact with a outside race or outside group of beings who actually don't share our best interests or have our best interests, and they don't have a connection with us at all or this planet. So these people who actually, let me backtrack a little bit. Us as melanated beings, we share so much of the sun that we are the sun. So let me read you this. If you guys are not too familiar with melatonin is melanin. It is within you, and melatonin is actually receptive or received from the sun, and it actually is in plants and other natural organic configurations of this room. But let me show you something real quick before I hop. Where are we? Okay, let me just read this then. Sunshine may play a role in regulating hormones and sleep patterns by affecting melatonin circadian rhythm. Melatonin is a hormone produced in the pituitary gland. Hint, hint, who has third eyes? Who has the pituitary gland? The pituitary gland is actually the seat of the soul. So you got to ask yourself who has a soul to begin with. But anyways, melatonin is a hormone produced by the pituitary gland from the chemical melanin. Hint again, who has a soul? Who has the melanin within? The melanin is what is a neuron that is placed within us, and melanin is actually found in plants. But let me finish reading this. Melanin is produced in the skin through sun exposure. Melatonin helps with inducing sleep. Okay, so melanin is produced in the skin through sun exposure. So how come when I go sunbathe, I don't burn or I don't peel? My skin doesn't react. But if a European was to, go sunbathe or tan or whatever, if they are not protecting themselves with the tar that they use to protect themselves, which is actually black tar, they burn, or their skin peels really bad and they turn really red and they crack. How come that happens? Is it that they don't share any relations with the sun, or they don't connect with the sun like I do, which furthermore exposes the truth right there. These people, they contain no melanin. They have no connection with the sun, and they actually absorb sunlight, and they absorb sunlight and they hold it in, and which kills off their cells. So let me slow down here. There's two cells, and when we absorb sunlight, one of their cells dies, which is why their skin reacts the way that it does, because they can't obtain the sun. They can't hold the sun, so their cell dies, and these people actually cannot release sunlight or release radiation. This is why us as melanated beings, we have white palms and white feet, because we are actually receptors and releasers. We have the ability to receive the sun and release the sun. So this is why the sun is not killing us this is why the sun is not killing us or detrimental to us, because we are not just usurpers. We are not just takers. And this is what these people are. They don't have the ability to, give back to the sun, if you get what I'm saying. They only can receive sunlight. And this is why they share no connection with the sun. But anyways, melatonin is a hormone produced in the pituitary gland from the chemical melanin. Melanin is produced in the skin through the sun exposure. Now let's go over here. We have melatonin in black skin. So this one was melatonin from the sun, and this one is melatonin in the black skin. Melatonin and the skin. Presence of the melatonin causes skin darkening. It affects the skin in some animals. I'm going to get into that in a second. But it does not change the skin color of humans. Some plants have small amounts of melatonin as well. And that is your answer right there. That is exactly what I just mentioned. Let's just take this ending part right here. Some plants have small amounts of melatonin as well. Who did I just say have melatonin? Now let's go down here. What race has the most melatonin? The highest melatonin levels are in African Americans. In each racial group, they are highest in young Africans, 30 to 50 years old. So we have other beings or other deities, groups of deities out there who do actually withhold some traces of melanin within them. Genetically they may have some form of, let's just say African American within them, being that we were raped and we were forced to, crossbreed with these other racial groups. They do have, they do have melanin within them. So we did have that, that crossing phase where we had to sleep with the outside race, where we had to create life with the outside race. So this is why you have some Mexicans who have melanin, or some Arabs who have melanin, or even some what's another race? Some, did I say Arabics? Yeah. There's a few races out there. You may realize that they are a little bit darker, but they aren't, African American. They aren't of African descent. That's because they have melanin in them, but they are not, black. And this is also why some Caucasians, some Europeans, they have freckles. Freckles are actually, traces of melanin. So you have to pay attention to that, because it's simply because these people were, forced onto us. And this is why us as the black race, or the golden race, us women, us queens, we have a whole nother entire race of entities. This is called the extinct race, because we as us as the natural creators, we have that ability to see other races. And we basically, what I'm saying, because I know I'm getting my words mixed up here, us as the black race, the black women, we have that ability to create. And in order for us to create, we have to go through this process. And the process sometimes wasn't with our own race. It included, the race, the group of European beings, which, caused for us to give them, melanin. And that was the only way for us to share melanin with them, was to, crossbreed. But I hope I'm not going over you guys' head. I hope you guys are staying here with me. But plants actually share the same traits as us, as melanated beings, as the golden race. They actually, in fact, they don't have, it's not called melanin, it's called chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is what makes the plants and the trees green. So us as, the colored race, we have something known as melanin. And melanin is what gives us the effect of brownness or darkness, or even, sometimes referred to as blackness. We are an exact replica. Our anatomy matches plants and trees. We are an exact, we are an exact connection with nature and the sun. So these deities that we are sharing this planet with, that have enslaved us, are beings or people that connect with animals. They actually share they 98% of their DNA is shared with a chimpanzee. You got to ask yourself, why do these people have so much envy towards me? Why do these people hate me? It's because they don't have any understanding of you. These people are they're trying everything in their power to get inside of you. This is why these people are always digging in on the inside of you, because they are curious. They want to know more and more about you because you're so extravagant, And us as gods and goddesses, way 6,000 plus years ago, because blacks were the only people who inhabited all parts of the world 6,000 plus years ago. Europeans wasn't here 6,000 plus years ago. So you got to ask yourself, who are the organic beings of this planet? Why is it that we are so targeted? Why is it that we are so hated? Black people have 147 alien genes. Black women, in our DNA, we have an entire race of entities, which I just got finished speaking on. So this module exists within the genome of the Black woman's DNA. So all of this began through the Black woman. The Black woman is the creator. The Black woman is the God E of Gene, and you guys should do research on that. And that is why that is very important, because we need to stop being so attached to this God that was created for us by a group of insectoids or humanoids, and we need to search within for the truth. These people flip the script here, and you got to look into that. These people gave you a physical person, for one, so it went from being a energy or a frequency or a vibration to a physical being, and it went from being you to outside of you. So it went from going within to searching out, calling out, worshiping. So you gotta watch how these people play these mind games, and how they use their educational systems, their justice system, their law enforcement, their television, their food, their music, to poison us and to furthermore keep us in this infant state. But back to my point, the mitochondrial Eve gene is what I was speaking on, and us as the Black women, we are the original beings of this planet. So if you are not Black or of African descent, then you are a Neanderthal. So if you are not the golden race, if you are not the sun people, you are Neanderthal, which means you share your DNA with, other species. So you could be 93% human and 7% Neanderthal. And this goes for the Caucasians, Davidians, Asians, the Arabics, anybody who is outside of the golden race, then, you share 98% of your DNA with monkeys, chimpanzees, wolves, even muskrats. So these people inhabit all of these different animals within them, and then they turn around and try to call us a monkey. They turn around and try to school us. They turn around and try to police us. Why do these people have the power or the authority over us? And they're furthermore the farthest away from this planet. They have the farthest connection with this planet. These people were on all fours when they met us. When we came into contact with these humans or with these people, they were on all fours, and we actually taught them how to maneuver, how to compute information. We don't get it twisted. We didn't come up with this language. I will never say that. We did not create this language. And these people, they came here and they came to us, and with our loving and genuine hearts, we let them in, and these people flipped it, turned it, and enslaved us. These were people who had no form of understanding of astrology, of the sun, the star alignments, mummification, reincarnation. These people had no ability to fly. We could teleport. We could travel through dimensions. This is why we are multidimensional beings. Through our dreams, this is why we travel through dimensions. These people, they didn't understand how we were so highly intellect. How we can maneuver with our fingers, how we did things with our minds, and we created these pyramids, these structures that never fail. You can burn paper, you can cut up paper, but we decided to carve the truth within our pyramids, and it is still up to this day. This is why these pyramids are being they're saying that they are coming into contact with pyramids under the ocean. We have pyramids everywhere: Asia, Europe, Egypt, China, in Saudi Arabia, everywhere around this planet, around this world, we had pyramids, and this is why they are beginning to show you guys how things are turning out. This is why things are turning out the way that they are. But this is a group of beings, a group of Caucasians or Europeans who are born with snubs or born with tails, and they are cut off at birth. And these people are the ones who are schooling us and having the authority or that power over us, and we're letting it. We are taking the back seat. We're falling in line, and that is where we go wrong. We let one of these Caucasians get in between ourselves, us, our brothers and our sisters. We let somebody get between us, and this is how this enslavement started. Physical slavery had to take place. They had to beat you and force you and scare you to then have that power or that say so over your mind. Because once somebody has that authority over your conscious, your what is the word I'm looking for? Your let's just say your mentality. Once somebody has that power over that, then they have you, because the home is the mind. That's where you do all of your processing. That's where you do all of your thinking. That's where you experience things, and you hold that information. Your mind is your ability to maneuver. That is your cognitive. That's where your cognitive system is. Your mind is very important, and if people have the power over that, if people can control that or manipulate that in any form or fashion, they have you, and that's the backseat of your life. And this is why they have done all of these things to us for so long, because they didn't want for us to tap into this God that is within us, the God that we truly are. We are the black woman and the black man, or melanated woman and the melanated man is the most smartest computers of this planet. we have the strongest connection to the source. So we are constantly receiving. The more exposure that we are getting or that we are receiving from the sun is the more downloads or information that we receive from the source. And this is why they want to keep you so put up or cut off from the sun, because they don't want you to grow. They don't want you to ascend. The more you ascend, the more you begin to tap into yourself and wake yourself up and others. They don't want that, because once we all wake up, they can't school us anymore. Like, they can't control us. We don't need leaders. And this is what they don't want you to know. This is why they are continuously, poisoning us. Poisoning. And these people, these are people that share characteristics and different genetics, they have different features of animals because they share genetics of animals. And this is why they are coming out with tails, and they are coming out with excessive hair, or horns or hooves or snubs. These people share, they have a relation, what is it? They are actually related to animals, and this is why they come out the way that they do. They have lice. We don't, colored melanated beings don't get lice. They sweat. They smell like they give off a dog smell.
Skin tint was very range,
and this
shaved
is
out.
Why you need to, pay attention to the things that you have known.
Skin tint was very range, shaved out.
Sorry. But I'm gonna be wrapping this video up soon, guys. I know I'm rambling on a lot, but yeah, I feel like I basically touched on majority of what it is that I wanted to show you guys. Like I was mentioning, the coronal holes in the sun are expanding, and they are spewing out very high levels of radiation, which is UVA, UVB, and UVC. And these energy levels, these frequencies are, somewhat of a detriment to those who don't share a connection with the sun. But for those of you who do, you pretty much have nothing to worry about, especially if you have been taking care of yourself, because the sun is going to burn the truth out of everybody. And whether or not it's going to burn you physically or spiritually, it is, up to you. So I hope this message is not going over anybody's head, but like I mentioned, this chart is going to be very important for this planet very, very soon, because as you can see, this chart right here, I want you guys to look at this. Even though it's blurry, I'm gonna read it out. It says, for less than 15 minutes, extreme risk of harm to unprotected sun exposure. Take all precautions. It is advised to stay indoors. And guys, that is less than 15 minutes. So that means you can't even be outside for more than 10 minutes comfortably. Less than 15 minutes. Take all precautions. Stay indoors. What? Imagine that. These harmful rays, quote unquote, these intense sparks of radiation that are becoming, harmful to the planet, quote unquote. It's increasing. It is continuously increasing and becoming more and more and more of a detriment or a harm to those people who have kept you enslaved for so long. And this is not for anybody in particular. This is a overall message. So for those of you who think that I'm speaking to you in particular, then that's where you need to take that up with yourself. But anyways, as you guys can see, this is very this is crazy to me because they're advising you to wear hats, wear sun protection, wear all of your your sun protecting creams or your black tar is the way that I like to see it. But yeah, for the most part, guys, I feel as though I've touched on majority of what it is that I wanted to speak on. Okay, no. Hold on. Yeah, I definitely got to show you guys this. Tell me what you guys see. Tell me what you guys see. Now, this is in India. This was in May, back in May. But take a look at this, guys. Just take a look at this. I want you guys to tell me what it is that you think this may be. These are random people who are just randomly getting the urge to record our skies, record our people. This is your extended family. And these people are these are random strangers around the world. This is someone in India who has decided to, take their phone out and record this cloud. What do you think this is? These are people who are not tapped in. 9 times out of 10, they're not tapped into their third eye. These are literally random people who are just recording the sky. So it's like, what are they seeing that you aren't seeing? What do they see that you don't realize? This time is now, and these beings, these extraterrestrial beings, or these multidimensional beings who are traveling throughout this dimension. They are importing and incarnating through they are traveling through the sun, and as you can see, through the ocean, through these volcanoes that are erupting. All of these things are taking place, and as you can see, they are physically here on these ships, and random people are realizing this, and it is crazy because this ain't even them. This is us. And we are the last to notice. We are the last to realize. We're the last to even look up. You know how many people don't even look up at the sky? You know how many people don't even look up at the sun ever? Just imagine how shocking and how surprising this is going to be to majority of this world. 95% of this world is asleep. 95% of this world is lost and completely unconscious to what it is that they are in. Let's say about 7% is conscious and trying to, help and trying to better humanity overall. And then there's about 5% who's controlling humanity, who needs empowerment, who needs energy. They're energy-based beings, and they are usurping energy and blood from our babies. This is how these people are 98 and 95 years old, looking 40. These people are transferring energy from one soul, or one vessel to another. Through these underground basements and these underground, systems, these people are stealing and kidnapping our children and our women, and they are taking their blood and harvesting their organs and, transmitting them over to a whole different vessel, if not their vessel. These people they have that mind. This is hell. This dimension that we are in is the darkest, deepest, most hateful, level of existence that there could be. This is why people rape children. This is why people kill people. This is why people will kill their own mother for money. This is because the realm that we are in is the devil's world. This is Set. This is Zeus's world, Babylon's system. And these people are trying to keep us as melanated beings away from whom it is that we truly are. But the beauty of all of this, guys, is that we are in a very important time of being. We are in the age of Aquarius. And if you don't know by now, that is the age of awakening. A new start. A fresh sleep, And in order for you to see newness, greatness, and beauty, you have to get rid of the darkness, the hatred, and the wickedness. So everything has to be exposed. Everything has to come out. Everything has to fall. Everything will crumble. And in order for things to, elevate, that has to take place. And through this time of being, you should be taking care of yourself. You should be channeling in that cosmic energy, that loving energy. You should be vibrating on your heart chakra. You should be vibrating in your heart chakra. You should not be worrying about this, worrying about that, because you are safe. If you are watching this video, you are safe. You're safe. So when you take somebody who is, not so much of a, they're not aware, they don't have that ability to, well, they do have that ability, but they're just not tapped into who they are. That's where you need to worry. If you aren't taking care of yourself, if you aren't searching and going within, if you are not exercising and eating right, if you're still eating meat at this particular time, dude, that's where you need to worry. But if you are taking care of yourself, like I mentioned, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. But I don't want this video to carry out for too much longer, guys. I know I've been rambling on for a good minute, but like I mentioned, I had a couple of things to cover today, and I had to show you guys, of course. But these are a group of beings, these are a group of extraterrestrial, these are a group of insectoids who have a connection with animals, and their genetics are an exact replica of rats or monkeys or wolf or botflies or raccoons. These people share animal traits, and they are born with animal traits. Some of them are born with animal traits, and they are enslaving us, and they are controlling us, the gods of this planet, the creators of this planet, and we're letting them. We are allowing this enslavement. This is an embarrassment. And we were placed here. We were tested. This is the ultimate test. We are being tested for our love for one another. If your brother or your sister is trying to point to the sun and tell you something, and you're looking at their finger, you have a lot to worry about. You have a lot to think about. You have a lot to do. You have a lot of going within to do. This is where we lack. This is where we kind of go against each other, because we are so quick to find fault or to pick something out when it comes to one another. We don't love at all. We see no value in one another. Our brothers and sisters, our sisters are completely separated. They are completely against each other. They are hateful towards one another. We are, hateful to one another. We are envious and just spiteful when it comes to one another, especially when it comes to our men. The women are very spiteful. We actually find as though we should go outside of our race to date, to create even. They have taken us away completely from they have completely stripped God from within us, from ourselves, because we are God. They have completely stripped the God out of us. They have completely poisoned our babies as well as us. So this is a repetitive cycle that has been going on for eons and eons and eons. And now it is time for it's time for a break. and everything must go for newness to arrive, and that is just that. But I don't want to keep going on. I can literally talk for 30 more minutes, but I will be leaving. I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. I want to speak on a particular video in my next video that I will be, speaking on between tonight, or tomorrow. But yeah, for the most part, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you. If you have made it this far, thank you. I value your time, and I know this video was long, but it was very informational and hopefully informative for a lot of you out there. But anyways, thank you so much for your time and your undivided attention. I value you, appreciate you. Stay balanced and protect yourself.